Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the latest weekly report edition for 20th of October 2014, which covers the week that has just finished. As we're talking about finance, I must say that past performance is no guarantee of future results, and all advice is general in nature only, must not be construed as personal advice. Alright, let's have a look at some charts then, shall we? We've landed on Brambles, but we'll get to Brambles soon. Let's just have a quick overview on what's happened in the index on the markets, and we've actually gone positive this afternoon. I must say that I'm recording this on the Thursday afternoon, so just covering the first 4 days of this week, as I'm out of action over the next couple of days. So we'll have to see what happens in store tomorrow, but this will at least update you on the first 4 days of the week. And after another negative lead from the US, we've had a huge drop to the downside there of some 85 points, and an equally large rally on the upside, now rallying 80 points from 51.60 around noon to 52.40 only 3 hours later. Such wild movements is becoming quite characteristic of the market at the moment. Makes it just all the more challenging to trade as well. Okay, let me cover off on a couple of the covered calls first up, and let's have a look at Newcrest. Newcrest, we're sitting on about a 1.5% profit on this trade, sitting around $10. We're up $10.50 at expiration at the end of this month. Okay, so it doesn't have that far to go to the upside, and that will lock in a solid 6% or so on that particular trade. BHP, it's had a solid rally over the last couple of days, although pulling back today. Was worse earlier, just on the back of that iron ore price moving back above $80. We do have the 34 strike put in place. We are under our put strike, but it is risk limited. And at this stage we're sitting at down about 3.7% on that trade, which is obviously disappointing, but you must bear in mind that the stock's actually fallen 20% in the last 2 months, so only having to worry about 3.7% of that is relatively good, isn't it? NAB, we've got the put there, it's starting to surge up again. We're just a little bit off our break evens. We've got the put at 32.50, so about 30 cents above that as we speak, but we paid about 33.30 to enter. So ideally, if we do see this move towards that 33.50 mark, even $34, then there's some solid returns on the table. Bearing in mind this stock does go ex-dividend in about 4 or so weeks time from now. Santos has had a solid turnaround as well. It's been smashed hard over the last 5 days, just with that iron ore and the crude price dropping. It's well below fair valuations. People, when I say people, the top tier broking firms and the investment houses are all valuing it around that $16, $17, $18 mark. So at $12.50, it's a relative bargain, isn't it? We have the put at $13.50 around here. Does look like there's a fair big gap to the downside, but even if it trades near its long 12-month moving average, which would be around $14, that's what we're after with this trade. Okay, let's move over to some of the spreads. We'll cover off on Fortescue first. Fortescue's, like BHP, has had a pretty solid bounce over last week before it has pulled back today, but it just shows you in the space of 3 days the stock can move upwards from peak to trough some 86 cents. Now at the moment we're a bit below our $4.10, $4.20 target, but with 2 weeks to run, it's not over yet. CBA has had a solid move. It's at 76 again, or just below. We're up to 78. At the moment we're obviously down on this trade by about 60%, but things can obviously quickly turn around. We've seen a $1.20 gain from open today. Another $1.20 will put us within striking distance of the $78 mark. Tulsa's a trade that's moving into nice profit, albeit small, at about 15% up. That October time decay kicking in quite well there, and we own the $5 for December. So look, I know there's been a few people latecomers trying to get into that trade. Unfortunately, we need to see it move down to about 5.30 before you can re-enter. We did into QBE yesterday. It looks like we might have entered one day too early, but the stock's starting to rally to 10.70 now. You can see it's right near those levels of support. It's got quite a broad support level around at 10.74, 10.30 even. But any dips around these levels have been rather quickly bought up, and we're looking for the same kind of outcome to lock in a solid profit on that trade. And Brambles is the other trade that we have running at the moment. It has made some solid gains. Look at all those green candlesticks on the right of your screen there, showing that through the day the bulls are really taking charge of this stock after it's been knocked down in the first hour. So that's a positive technical sign there on Brambles, and we're aiming for $9.50 over the coming 6 weeks, which again isn't too much to ask. It's sort of mid-range of where it has been since March. Right, ladies and gents, I'll wrap it up there. We'll see what tomorrow brings, and we've got we're probably well set up for the market at the moment. We've got quite a lot of bullish trades out there. I didn't mention the XJ call. The XJ call's in a small profit at the moment with a gain this afternoon, maybe in the order of around 10%, but that is uncapped upside, and if we see further gains here, then that will be a solid profit to lock in after some of the weakness that we've seen in the market of late. Right, if you have any questions, feel free to call us on the desk. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Right, thanks for your time.